Hello everyone, welcome to Diary of a Farmer's Daughter. Right, so today we want to talk about keeping records in catfish farming business. Now, keeping records, record keeping as I call it, is essential in any business at all, not just that of the catfish farming. Okay, so it is essential, it is important, it is vital. Choose any of the adjectives that you want for us to keep accurate records. It allows you to see how your business is. In fact, it's like a mirror that reflects the state of your business just the way it is to you. Okay, right. So what is record? What records are we talking about? Record simply refers to documentation of your process and activities that occur in your business. In catfish farming, we have different records that we can keep. For example, we have one that I refer to as the activity logbook. With the activity logbook, what I used mine for was to document basically everything I did on a daily basis on the farm. So every day I logged into the book. I had to put in everything that occurred on my farm, number of times I fed the fish, the time I fed them, the date, the quantity of feed that they took, perhaps their condition. For example, any observations that I had, I noted them down, and I also wrote down some of my thoughts or impressions about things I was saying. So basically everything that occurred, and I had to use this to monitor my own progress in the business. Okay, another document that you could use, another record that you could keep, is that of your expense note. So money that comes into, money that you spend, money that leaves the business, anything you spend to buy anything at all, money you spend to buy anything. For example, you want to buy even something as small as a nail, whether 20 naira, whether 100 naira, it doesn't matter how minute you might think the thing is. But the fact is that once you're spending money from the business, you must account for it. You must write it down. You write what you used it for, write the amount you use, write the date as well. Okay, that's how you show that you are accountable. So if I buy feed, for example, I could say one bag of 2 feed, write the brand of the feed and the date I bought it, as well as the total for which I got the item. Everything should be clearly stated. That way you know what you have spent during your calculation of your cost of production at the end of your production cycle. Then you also want to have a sales note. So when it's harvest time and you're harvesting your fish or you're selling your fish, make sure you take accurate notes of what you sold, how much you sold it for, how many persons came to buy, what each person bought. In short, what they bought, how much they bought a kilo, and how many numbers of fish you had even in that particular kilo. Very detailed record. So you put everything down. It shows accountability for you. Then you should have what we also call a water change tracker. I have what I call a water change tracker. That's for me to track my water change. Water is life for fish. So if you don't keep accurate tabs on your water change, you could run into problems. Okay, so write down the date for which you change the water in your pond. In a month, you could just say, well, in a month we change on the 13th I changed, and then after 13th you might have 15, because me I change every other day. So you must note it down for each pond. It's important that you have this water change tracker, because sometimes people tend to forget, because sometimes we have more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ponds. How many can you keep in your head? Have a board, write it on the board, or have a chart, a note where you note it down. Where you write it down is better for you. So why do we have all these things in catfish farming? Why is it essential to keep records? Sorry, I'm rushing through this. Number one, it allows you to leave tracks. Now, leaving tracks means you know where you are coming from. You know where you are standing at the moment. You know where you are going to. So if you have a place where you've made a mistake, it is easy for you to follow those tracks that you've made, retrace your steps to that path, and then correct the mistake or any error that you've done in the business. You can do that. Then number two, it allows us to replicate results. Okay, so when you clearly document your process, somebody else can replicate the results that you've done following the detailed journey or the detailed description that you've given. They can duplicate or replicate the results that you have shown. Of course, we know that there might be some variables, but yeah, it shouldn't be too far off. Then another important reason for you to keep records is that it allows you to track your progress. If you are doing well, you know. If your fish are doing well, you know. If there's a reduction in the amount of feed they take, you want to know why this happens, and then see exactly what you can do about it. So it shows an accurate record of your progress. Again, it shows how accountable you are. So it makes for accountability in your business. Everything is crystal clear. If all this come, they can see exactly what is happening in your business, how much money you spend, how much money has come into the business. Allows you to calculate your production cost at the end of a production cycle clearly. So accountability is key when it comes to record keeping. Then it allows you to have a lens. Keeping good records allows you to have act as a record, act as a lens for you to see your business using the outsider's perspective. If for a while you've written these records for a while and you want to start another production cycle, what you do is to go through your notes. That way you'll be surprised at things that will jump at you, ideas that will come to you, things you didn't do well. Oh, we didn't do too well here, let's rectify this. All right, I think we can do this here, and we will get better at it. So it allows you to make strange what I call the taking for granted. Okay, so it allows you to build the business up even better. All right, so this is what we do on our farm, the records that we keep on our farm. I want to know what you do in your own farm. How many records do you keep? What kind of records do you keep? Talk to us about it. Let's see if we can learn from each other. All right, so until next time.